Hi everybody and welcome to today's episode of The Sit Down. Before I introduce our next guest, I want to tell you a little bit about her. She's a singer, a songwriter, a multifaceted award winner across multiple platforms. She holds the record for 2019 for the most downloaded Afrikaans song of the year, which I find amazing. Also mentored somebody that you might know, Demi Moore, on the very, very popular show, The Contract. She also had her own TV show on the VIA channel that was called The Tune. Welcome everybody, a big round of applause to the multi-talented, very beautiful Monique Steyn.
Thank you for having me, it's awesome.
Honor to have you here.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the lovely words. Yeah.
It's a pleasure. Are you ready to have a nice chat?
I am, always.
Awesome, let's do it. So, if we could magically, boom, click of a finger, go back 5 or 6 years, I think it's more like 5 years, and we close your eyes and the 17-year-old version of you walks into this room and sits down here next to us. Who is she? What is she thinking about? What's important to Monique Steyn at 17? What are your priorities? Like, who were you in high school?
Oh my goodness, that's tough. Because I wish I was 17 5 years ago, but if I could tell myself something, I think it would be to just be in the moment, because I think I've always been an over-analyzer. Even in school, I loved sport. I loved...
So you're a sporty girl.
Sporty girl. My family was like from a sporty background.
What sport
rugby.
was your favorite?
My dad,
rugby. Okay.
Well, no, my dad played rugby for Transvaal for long, so
nice.
it was rugby and athletics. Netball was my favorite.
Okay.
And it was kind of why I went to school. I loved that. And I love friends. I think I was like the Afrikaans people say the middle siddle. Okay. So I had friends and kind of the jocks and the nerds. I loved nerds in school. So I was very adamant to like stand up for those and be a protector of the nerds.
Because normally the sporty girls or boys, they just click up with the jocks and look down on the nerds.
I was a little bit with the jocks. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I kept myself kind of in the middle. I had my very, very good close girlfriends, and I think even then, I kind of saw into the future. I was ready to leave school. I kind of was like, I was ready for the world now. I want to get going. And
I was ready in Standard 4, but I had parents that forced me to go until the end. But Standard 4, I knew it. I'm like, this is not for me. But I stuck it out.
Yeah, stuck it out.
At what age were you ready? At 17?
Maybe. I think I always knew it. I think I subconsciously knew it. I never banked school. I'm a bit of a pliggy. Okay. So I was like the one time I'll do it, I will get caught out, firstly. And I've got serious FOMO. I wanted to be around people. So I enjoyed the social aspects of school. I was good at academics. I was very balanced. But I had this nudge to get out, to like go spread my wings. Although I must admit, like even in high school, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I knew I loved music, but I come from an academic family as well. So it was...
What does mom do? Sorry.
Mom worked for a bank for a long time. My dad was... a financial director for Telkom when but before that we were like in mining, so I used to travel. I used to move around a lot, and I attended like 3 primary schools by the time I was in like grade 6. And then we settled in Pretoria, so I think I was used to moving around and kind of adapting wherever you go. You just you don't get too sentimental.
It just hit me. Is that perhaps why you could find a common language with the nerds, with the sporting people? I think so.
I think so too. Like the vagabonds of the world, you know what I mean? Those who don't quite fit in, and you have to. But again, I wasn't ever bullied. I had a very, very smooth in high school career or journey, and I had a good household, and we were supported. So I think I was just itching to get going.
So.
That was the 17-year-old me, itching to get going and loving sport and people. I still am like that.
Great values and principles. Mom and Dad, thank you very much. You did a phenomenal job. Strong support system. Even though you moved, you knew who you were.
Absolutely. Always
And
felt safe.
You were
Yeah.
ready to take on the world.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, how do you get out of high school and become a multi-talented, multifaceted, award-winning songwriter and singer? How does that journey happen? Do you stumble upon it, or do you one day say, "Listen, I'm going to sing you guys a song"? And because I've tried singing my friends a song and they throw things at me. Like, how does that work? You're like,
Depends
stop
what they
singing.
throw
I'm
at
like,
you.
oh, I'm like, okay, I'll stop. So how does that happen? How does that happen for you?
Well, if I look back at it now, it's actually crazy because it's by the grace of God. But I think also I was I remember in high school specifically, I broke my ligaments in netball, and there was a big season coming up. So I had to get a cast, and we did that, and I hated it. I wanted to play, and my dad sat me down, and he said to my mom, like, bring the electric bread knife.
Electric bread knife.
Bring it.
Wow, fancy.
And I was like, okay. And we cut that thing off in about 5 minutes, to my mom's horror. And
Cut off the cast.
cut off the cast. And I was like, he said, like, the only way to get going again is to get that muscle ready for action.
I like
and
that. He's
I
hardcore.
played in the next 2 weeks. That was my first game. And I think that had such an impact on me in future. So what I wanted to go do, end of matric, was to go study criminology. That was like, it's still a thing for me. But a friend of mine, a good friend, Flourish Oosthuizen, who's a guitar player, everybody knows his name, Jean Flourish Oosthuizen. He was a fellow musician, a little bit ahead of me in Pretoria North, and he said to me, listen, there's a great course at Pretoria Technikon in music, and I know you love music, and I know you've been considering it, so why don't you give it a chance? So I had to sit down with my folks and say, this is maybe an option for me, and my dad just said to me, you know what, go do that. You can do psychology from stage as well.
Yes.
I don't see you behind a desk, but if it's not for you, then, and you've done that, you can always go study again. And
Yeah.
I mean, the rest is history. I went studying and I loved it. And out of Technikon was a phone call from Richard Loring in Midrand to ask for girls to do girl talk. And I thought that was just not me. I'm a rock chick and I'm not going to like do these dancey things. But I got the audition firsthand and there I was. I was studying in the day and then working at night, doing 6 nights a week of girl talk.
Beautiful.
And that kind of led to the next theatre, to the next thing, until in very short, I did a show in Cape Town and an Afrikaans music label got hold of me there, saw me in a show and said, let's go. So to answer your question, like how does it happen? I think there's a little bit of, if I look back, that I'm not proud of myself, but I have a hard time going, well done. But I've got spine, and I work well under pressure. So don't give me 6 months to think about something. Tell me there's the opportunity, and it's going to be hard, and it's going to be like challenging, and I like a challenge, and then put me in the deep end. Then for some reason I swim, and I think that's when moving around, I think, taught me. When you get to a new school, you get to new friends, you get to new surroundings, and that's where I kind of fake it till you make it flourish in a way. You just dive in and go.
I don't think it's fake it till you make it. I think I see that common golden thread amongst high performers. It's you're driven by competition, aren't you? You like competing.
Not competing. I compete with myself.
Beautiful. The
Completely.
right answer.
I'll tell you about it just now. Like I had very good advice when I was 19, specifically at Girl Talk, because there were so many girls and so many competitions. Like that one wants to sing like that one, that one wants to dance like that one. And a friend pulled me aside and said to me, "Listen, I can see that you're lost because you are like trying to do what everybody else is doing." She said, "Hone your skill, hone your moves, hone your vocals." And it was like a lightning bulb went off in my head because I don't like competition with girls. It's actually my worst. I like unity and teamwork, and I mean that's why I think I enjoyed netball so much. I like a team sport and people encouraging each other. So that I kind of just for like I've never looked back on that piece of advice because it's never you can't be or do anything like you're a unique person.
Yes,
unique
you have
to yourself.
to be you and compete against you.
Compete
you have to
against
show
myself.
up better.
I'm very hard on myself, on nobody else, but I'm very too hard. I think sometimes it clouds my judgment.
I share the feeling.
Yeah.
If you show up 1% better every day than you were yesterday, which is not hard to do really, just read 10 pages out of a book or just go and study a strategy or study someone, in a year you're a beast.
Absolutely.
You are a lot further along than you were 365 days ago.
Sure. But I think you have to allow yourself to be weak as well. That's what gets hard, because I think after a certain time you go like the boiling pot, because you're trying to like just live up to a standard that you set for yourself, and if you set it for yourself, it's always higher than what you probably can achieve. So
that's called
it's
progress.
also just like that 17-year-old, I want to tell her to sometimes just breathe in the moment. Just be quiet and also go, it's okay. Just be. You don't have to like rush or overthink or plan the next 17 hours right away and have it done and have it. Because actually sometimes you get nothing done.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
you're too busy being busy.
You're too busy being busy.
And you're not managing your time effectively.
Yes.
You're not doing things to move along. You're just being busy.
Yes, being busy. So it's finding balance. I think that's my challenge in life, is just to go the balance for yourself. What's good and what's good to just breathe about, and what's good to take in, and when the moment comes, work your damn hardest, and then I think you'll be okay. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be okay in the best version of yourself you can be.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So there is hundreds of thousands of fans watching, and a lot of young people that aspire to become, a person of influence, whether in your field or a different field. If you could go back to that 17-year-old version and give her one piece of advice that you know now, that you didn't know at 17, in your career specifically, what would you say to that person?
Well, I'm just probably going to repeat myself, but I'll tell her to slow down your brain a little bit, and give yourself some space, give yourself some time, and don't be so damn hard on yourself. Don't always like try to be so bloody perfect, because it's boring. And I think I've got a rebel side, very much so. So like for work for me is always like, that's how it is, and everything needs to be in place. But there's high standards, but there's a side of me who likes adrenaline, who likes to have a glass of wine, who likes to not do everything all right, and to not be so afraid to disappoint people. You're not going to please everybody.
No.
That's the advice. I think that's it. You're not going to please everybody. You're not going to please yourself all the time. Chill.
Do your best.
Down. Chill a little bit. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Because time passes you by too quickly. You know what I mean? You'll miss out. I've never been a big sleeper, because like big FOMO is the hugest thing for me. But yeah, I want people to always feel better about themselves when they leave my company, and I think I had that at a young age. But then sometimes I think you overcompensate.
Yes.
You leave certain things behind that you shouldn't pay attention, or you should have paid attention to, that you don't. So, like I said, I want her to chill a little bit.
Chill.
Yeah, just calm down.
A beautiful thing that I heard the other day is, the person that enjoys walking will walk further than the person that enjoys the destination more.
Destination more.
Yeah. So if
because you're missing that.
There we go. If you, take for example, I lead a company with 240 employees. I was scared out of my socks the moment we jumped 100 employees, because I thought, that number in my head, I thought, like, how am I going to lead this many people? I've got so much responsibility on my shoulders. I can't do this. I'm scared every day. It's overwhelming. But I knew that I had to become somebody different in order for me to be able to be successful there. So I'm not looking forward to, the success of the company at 500 employees. I'm looking forward to having a conversation with myself. How am I thinking, walking, talking, processing issues?
Yes.
Because I've traveled that journey. The destination is, the awards are there, and it's validation that I've worked hard and I've invested time and effort. But the person you've become is the ultimate win, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And
Awesome.
that's amazing, because I think it's hard sometimes to give yourself a little bit of a tick, like a nudge, because you go like, don't be arrogant, don't be. But it's so important, that development, to get to know your weaknesses, to know where your hot spot is, to know what irritates you. And it's not that the issue is not to be perfect. That's not the aim. It's to develop, and I think you can give people the best of you when you are the best of who 100%. You are, not in a selfish way.
100%.
Absolutely. So that's amazing that you've had that experience at least.
And also, if I'm here, I'm present,
Yeah.
and I'm giving you the best version of me.
Yes.
And there's in our company, things burn down the whole time. I've got
Little fires
problems,
everywhere.
big fires all the time. I've got managers resigning. I've got new hires. I've got training. However, the most important thing for me is whatever I'm doing right now, whoever I'm standing in front of, because then I leave you better than I found you, just like you said earlier. Beautiful.
Exactly.
I think we are a little
Kop
bit
in een
aligned.
mis,
Yeah,
like we say.
100%. Let's dive into COVID. It's a iffy subject, but I want to. Thank you very much. I can't wait for the bloody masks to go away, but
No,
we'll
have a
be
bonfire
patient.
together.
Yes,
A
absolutely.
mask bonfire.
And I just want to give you a lesson that myself and our company has learned throughout the COVID process. Perhaps you could share one with us. So we are a B2C business, so business to customer. We calling people, going out to your house, knocking on your door like, hey, I'm here, there's a car, I want to do a demo for you, sure, go for a test drive. So it's a very hands-on experience. Yeah, it's a contact
Personal
sport.
contact sport, yes.
It's a contact sport. So COVID regulations say, how's it? We're not allowed to see people. We can hardly talk to people, and we had to evolve. So
Yes.
our company went from an analog to a digital business in 90 days. We've got a phenomenal team that transferred everything online, and we learned how to do things better there, and boom, we come out a better company, doubled in sales, doubled in staff, but we had to go through that rough patch of I'm scared, I don't know what to do. Okay, let's figure it out together, get the team behind you and move on. What was your experience with COVID as a performer?
I think pretty much, well, not the same, and in the sense that we rely on the same things. We rely on numbers, we rely on contact. That's what you do. We don't do well without an audience. I mean, like our friends in comedy, I felt for them more than anything, because I can still sit in my lounge and record something and send it out there and people can comment on it. But the moment that's done, I don't need, it's lovely, but a comedian they need laughs. They need that constant,
they need that energy, yes.
Yeah, back and forth. So I really felt sorry for those friends of mine. But wow, it started with 3 weeks, and they were like, okay,
we can live with this.
This is a 3-week holiday, and then it was just the next and the next and the next and the next.
It was rough. Eh?
It was rough. What I'm grateful for personally is that, because I'm a control freak and I'm very curious and I want to learn stuff, over the years, on ground level, I've got a little mini studio that was set up for demo recordings, and there's cameras, and so I could, because we do so much social media, it was important. But in the first 3 weeks, there was a certain online show, a radio station, that came on board and said, listen, we're doing this thing, but we need you to record your stuff, do it live, do something, play piano, record your voice, do all of that. And I couldn't go to our producers that we know, like the Paolas of the world. You could not see, you're not allowed to.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, it was 3 weeks of no sleep. It was me and YouTube going, and I sat. How do I? And bought programs and sat. And there's a lot of my friends who did that. I spoke to Taryn Lamb the other day. She said she did exactly the same thing. And just taught yourself to do stuff.
So I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go for it.
I'm very famous for this. Ask anybody at the dealership. If you want to know how to do something, this is great advice. Go to YouTube, watch the 5 most viewed videos on that specific subject, and you'll be further along than you were.
Absolutely. And the beauty of it is, if I type in, for instance, how to edit vocals on Logic Pro, it will go to that segment in the YouTube video. It won't even bring a video up. It'll start where it's.
I love being alive today.
Isn't it amazing? And then put a little green screen up, and because Fan Park took off completely. So the first three weeks to a month was me just doing that, and I enjoyed that. I loved it because I was learning, but it was damn hard. And all of a sudden, you have so much more. And we do already have respect for the people in studios who do this work for us and spend night after night after night,
Perfecting
fine
everything.
tuning everything and making you sound as beautiful as they can. But
By the way, I saw you live for the first time, and they don't need to do a lot of work with you. In
thank
fact,
you.
they need to do no work with you.
Thank
You
you.
sound, in my opinion, one of the very few artists that I've ever heard, and I've heard a lot, exactly the same as you do on a YouTube video.
Oh, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
That's a
That's-
compliment to a
that's my
muser. So
truth.
I'm gonna take
That's my
that. I'm
truth.
gonna bury
give
that.
all of it
That
to you.
means a lot to me. It's for an artist. That's lovely to hear. So thank you. I can do more shows. Yay!
I'm the groupie then from, like, yeah, go for it. I was your biggest
My
fan
biggest
that night.
fan. But you know what? Again, then I saw as well how we all stood together. Like how there was little groupings of people that really supported each other. I don't.
Beautiful.
It's hard to look back and be grateful for stuff because people came out of this like really in
100%.
hardship. But it happened.
There is a
And
silver lining,
There
and we
is a
took a
silver
positive
lining,
out of
and
it.
we were very blessed. And I saw how the music industry just stood together, and how, like you said, you guys had to stand together and think out the box right away. And those who could supported.
Yeah.
Because there was not a lot of outside support
Yeah.
for.
Agree.
Yeah. So that I think opened. It also put everybody on a like a fair playing field, and
Yes.
everybody started from scratch. And
Everybody's egos
I
went
just
into check.
took it out of my mouth. Egos
Beautiful.
had to go out the window.
Beautiful.
And we all started. I mean, I was grateful for my pub days, and then when I was in theatre, and you had to do what you had to do because your budget was like this and your payment was like this. So you learned. You
Your
put the
hustle
puzzle
muscle.
together. Hustle muscle. That's a great way to put it. I'm going to steal that. Your hustle muscle.
I stole it, so you're welcome.
Paying it forward. So I came out of it. I can't speak for everybody else, but I came out of it definitely wiser. Even more. I like to live my life grateful. I've always, when I got on stage, big or small, looked like through the curtain and then took in the room and went like, so lucky to do this, and then go back and then you get yourself ready. So you do your best to live a grateful life, but sometimes it's a rush and sometimes you miss out on it, and that just completely like stamped that again, to be grateful for every moment. I mean, like that Friday night you're talking about, I had goosebumps the whole night. My ears didn't know what to do. It was like there's buzzing and
Was
people
that
and
your
laughing.
first appearance?
First
festival?
festival, yeah.
In 2 years.
In 2 years.
In 2 years. Beautiful.
In
You
2
were
years, and
magical.
it was,
well done.
it was a magical night. It was a magic day, and everybody worked so hard, and it was how it should have been.
Yes,
like if you
absolutely.
imagined it, it was just the right
Absolutely.
people. So, I think in the domino effect it had was obviously huge, but we used the time we had. We were like, well, now we only have time, so stuff that was put on hold and on ice, we could
Process.
And now that I see how far that's come, we're ready. We've turned into producers. We've turned into voiceover artists of note. We've learned how to do that from home. So a lot of things you learn to do in-house now. And you learn to do it well. And you had time with your family, and you had time with your dogs, and you had time to just, and there was wonderful personal things for me that happened in the last year, and that affected my family as well. So I'm grateful for so many things.
I can see a ring on the finger. Is that one of the wonderful
Well, that's
things
definitely
that
one of them.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very, very much. I'm
Lucky
very
guy.
blessed to be in that position where when you think everything is hopeless, like I think,
Boom. There we go.
yeah, the universe just shows you, what do you know? You know nothing. And I'm very grateful that my family and everybody, they're all still beautifully healthy and
Nice.
safe.
That's a blessing. Thank the Lord.
Yeah. Thank the Lord for that. So grateful for a lot of things and heartbroken about many things.
Yeah.
And it's the hustle muscle has to start again. Because the loss was big
Very
for
big.
everybody and for all of us. So
Across all industries.
across
And
all industries.
I think some industries bounce back a lot quicker than others, and some haven't bounced at all.
No.
Unfortunately, and there's a lot of
Sport, us,
Oh,
the numbers,
it's
because it's
heavy.
the numbers.
numbers.
It's the numbers that matter.
Now, it takes a village to raise a young man or a young woman. If you could pinpoint 3 most influential people on your success, who would they be and why? 3 people. I know it's a village, but only 3. If you could isolate only 3.
Ooh,
It's a toughie.
It is tough. I'm going to put my folks in one person.
Okay, parents. Values and
Parents,
principles.
Values and principles.
Strong.
Always there. Always supportive.
Safe.
I've got one sister, and I'm going to put her there as well. So I'm going to put them in a unit. I'll
Okay.
put my sister and my folks in a unit. My family.
Younger, or older sister.
Younger sister. 6 years younger. Yeah.
Awesome.
Blonde, blue eyes, freckles,
Wow,
and
okay.
mother of two, best mom on the planet.
Beautiful.
And like, so it's like she's like my idol in many ways. So my folks and her. Wow, I've been very lucky that I've had a best friend for the last 15 years, my best girlfriend, Leanne Cressman. And we have walked a path personally, and we worked, she's my partner in the production company that we have as well. And I cannot tell you what an honor it is to work with someone and to have someone as your absolute best friend and in a working environment that you can trust completely. So we've kind of been mentors to each other over the years. If things go bad, we've got each other's best interest at heart all the time.
Safety net.
Safety net.
She's always
and
there
she's
to
wise listen. And like where she maybe like lags behind, I'll lead, and it's been this kind of relationship for years. And I think it's rare, but I think it's so beautiful. So I
Agreed.
put her definitely like in the top 3. I'm very, very grateful for that friendship and that person in my life. Then, just think now. There's so many. As a mentor. And I mean, we're not talking religion because that just goes without saying. But, because I take spiritual guidance. This is going to sound very strange to you. Maybe, and it's very weird for people listening. But you're going to have to forgive me now.
Trust me, nothing sounds... I'm in the motor industry. Nothing sounds strange to me. Ever. No.
Over the years, because when we've lost people, and I've lost beautiful, beautiful human beings in my life since I was very little, they've kind of become my bandstand in heaven. So I've got a bandstand of like 10 people that I talk to every day.
Beautiful. I do too.
Every day.
So
and
I'm also a weirdo, lucky. So we are definitely weirdos.
These are weirdos.
100%.
And for some reason, those have been my guidance. If I'm not talking to God, if I'm not, I go like, I'll call them by name and I say, struggling with this today. And like almost each of them has got a place. My grandmother and a very good friend, they almost, it's like full different roles.
Beautiful.
And they guide me. They do.
Awesome.
I think they do. And because you get to, in the music industry, I've had, Kwesi van Niekerk at Sony was a huge mentor for me. I mean, he was my introduction to the Afrikaans industry. My fellow musos are my mentors. You learn every day, and you learn from what you do.
From
Here,
each interaction, yeah.
Arnold Kaleski, those guys are just magical. Barry Pretorius, those in show, but in life and in music and career, it's my folks, my friends, and my bandstand, my heavenly bandstand.
Beautiful. Love it.
That's
love
it.
Love
And I'm very grateful for that. Grateful for being a weirdo in that sense, because
I love being a weirdo.
life-changing.
Yeah. I think each one of us is a weirdo in our own way.
Fly
our
a
own
freak
unique
flag.
Weird way. Yeah. 100%. Let's change the subject a little bit. You are alone at home. You've got no commitments for the day. It's your day off. What does Monique Steyn do? Do you hang out, watch Netflix? Do you play piano? What do you do? In your free time, there's no commitments. There's no one waiting for you. Who are you when you're just chilling out?
Just chilling out. Okay. There will probably always be a lunch with friends or somewhere. So that
never
the
alone.
lunch will be there. We will get together and do something small, like sit under a tree, have a glass of wine, talky, and laugh. That's for sure what happens. Like my dog is like, I've got a little rescue and a big fluffy one, and I wake up with them in the morning on my bed. They are there with
I
me.
also have 2 doggies.
My best thing on the planet, and I'm very grateful for them during lockdown as well. And then like if I find time, I love reading. So autobiography.
Me too.
And if I lived close to the ocean, I would wake up, you would find me either kite surfing or windsurfing, or
Awesome.
That's me. I'm an outdoor girl.
Outdoor, busy activities.
Yes.
Getting stuck in doing things.
Yes, I'm learning. Well, not learning now. I'm gonna learn to play golf very soon. Very afraid, but I can't wait.
Try.
Very excited.
It's very hard, but
Yes.
You know what it is for me? I go on the driving range and I hit, like, they give you those buckets. I don't know, you pay for buckets, like
For
3
buckets.
buckets. And I tell the guy, like, listen, dude, like, don't even show me the expensive stuff. Give me like the stuff the kids use. I'm
Yes.
like a real amateur. And I hit 3.5 buckets of balls all over
Everywhere.
but then I hit one.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, shit,
Yeah.
I'm going to come back next
Gonna come
weekend.
back. Yes.
So that's a hookah that bites you and
I
it doesn't.
agree.
It
I
hangs
suppose
on.
it's like, I don't gamble, but I suppose it's like gambling.
It's worse.
You
It's
win
worse.
once and then you go back. It's a very expensive little hobby that. So it's
Beautiful.
probably that. So good
Beautiful.
luck with that. No? Didn't continue?
I'm there every third, fourth Sunday just waiting for that one beautiful shot. I get that
Oh, so you
feeling.
see you're keeping at it.
100%.
Good for you.
Look, the guys laugh and they joke and yeah, my friends, I'm the funniest guy there, but that one shot and then nobody sees it.
No.
So, but I know I saw it, so,
Yes.
and I felt that moment, king, that nice sound. It's awesome.
So you've done like a proper like 18 and you've done well?
No.
Not at all yet.
No. I need to
Okay.
hit like at least, my goal is 4 of those big buckets. If I hit 5 balls that look right, I can go on the golf course. I haven't achieved that yet.
We'll find a mashy course. 9 holes.
Okay, just a short one. Maybe a
Short,
putt first, and then we can.
and we see how it goes, and there'll be no judgment. We can laugh at each other
Cool.
and count balls at the end
That's
of
a
the day.
deal. That's a deal.
So outdoorsy. That's it. So there'll be a lunch, and then I love yoga. So I will find
Yoga's hard.
hot yoga. I do hot yoga class, and I
Wow.
live by it, and so I'll definitely do that.
Awesome.
Yeah, time with family, time with friends, bit of reading, and yeah, if we had more outdoorsy stuff here to do by the ocean, I would have loved to live there.
You
For
are
that
lots
sake.
of fun. 100%.
Life's too short.
Absolutely. Now, we have a segment and a question called landmines. I'm going to share a landmine with you, and perhaps if you want to, you can share 1 or 2 or 3 or 5. I know successful people stepped on many landmines to be successful. So mine is running the company, very young, energy level is here, enthusiasm, temper, like hormones. I'm young, I'm aggressive, I'm competitive, I want to take over the world. That, unfortunately, in English translates to pushy, demanding, like it's never good enough.
Yes.
I want more, I need you to be better. And that, unfortunately, in my career pushes a lot of great people away from me. I become I become very toxic at a stage. And that's my landmine. Go and see someone, I speak to people that have moral authority. I seek counsel, helps me adjust that. Eventually, it gets better. I'm still that pushy, fiery guy, but the temper is in check. And yeah, make nice with the people that I've lost. But that's a big landmine because I lost such quality people. That I could have taken the world on with. But, I learned. Perhaps you can share 1 of yours or 2 of yours throughout your career.
Hindsight is, like for you now, hindsight's beautiful, but when you're in the moment, I don't think you see the damage that you do that you cause
toxic,
or what
yeah.
you're losing. So, that's mistakes we make, and like, I also like to, I'll make mistakes proudly. I don't mind. I just don't want to make them over and over again. So
New mistakes are great.
yes,
Same mistakes is a
yes,
problem.
There's a problem. I think mine was more in career is maybe not standing up for myself enough. Like being a bit of a pushover and like standing back when I shouldn't have, and not like selling myself short.
I want to jump into that. Is
Yes.
that because of your personality or because you're inexperienced at the time and you're young and you're uncertain?
Yeah, you're like so afraid to sound like, oh, you don't know what you're doing, or you sound like a diva, or you are demanding.
I suppose you have that balance with what you do. I can
you
imagine.
You have to use the word no, but in a personal thing, I think I've had it's not bad luck because it's self-inflicted. You teach people how to treat you. So I used to go into relationships and take on maybe not the healthiest of people because I think I can fix things.
Oh, you're a fixer.
Fixer, and I can and what I'm realizing now is that seems lovely, but there's also, I think, a little bit of arrogance in that, because if you fix someone, it's very nice for someone to say, oh, I'm better because of you, and that's, I think, selfish as well. So you don't realize it at the time, but I am a peacekeeper. I do love that, but I think I caused a lot of pain to family and friends at the time because I was so just blindly into it and focused on fixing that the rest kind of whatever they said to me and like the advice I got, I was just like, well, you're against this and you are not my friend and you give me bad advice.
The problem with that is if you're trying to fix someone, you're not with that person because of who they are. You are with that person because of who they can be from your point of view. But that's not that person's truth.
Not at all.
So yeah, I mean relationships, even business relationships. I used to get a quiet, timid person and that's a family person that's driven by advancement, wants to become a manager, and I'll go and drive him like I'm driven. I'm like, me and you, we're going to war. You see that dealership there?
Yes.
We're going to kill them. And that person's like, geez, like you're not fun to be around. Where now, I don't want him
some
to
of
be
that to
that
rub off
person.
on you a little bit. Thank you.
There we go. So now I look at that timid person and say, what do you want? Like, I would love to be a great sales manager. Really, why? Because I feel I can add value in people's lives by teaching them what you taught me. Awesome, let's go and do that. How do we do that? You have to hit these markers. There afterwards you will become whoever it, but then still have the same, we did a training course on it yesterday, two-day course, Sunday and Monday. The entire management team of the company were nearly 30 people that spent their Sunday and Monday. And the feedback that I'm getting, because this is exactly what we were taught, the feedback's like phenomenal, mind-blowing. It opens up everything. The competitive guy, I need to talk to that way. The soft, timid person, you can't make the soft, timid person that beast. But
No.
You can't. But they're both going to achieve phenomenal results in whatever area they want to. This guy, this beast, wants to stay in a 10 million rand house. I'm the guy that will help him get there.
Yes.
This guy doesn't want to stay in a 10 million rand house. He wants his kids to go to a great school and he wants a healthier life-work balance. So, I mean, if I'm trying to fix him to do that, he'll leave. And eventually, yeah, but that's why I've got some GT stripes here. I've got some grey hairs and it's unfortunately called a bit of life experience.
Well, guys, it's seen as like that's the in thing. The girls like, how old are you?
So awesome.
She's getting on in life.
Your best advice that you ever received, you mentioned earlier, and that was focus on who you are, hone your craft, be unique, be the person that you are supposed to be, your sound, your look, your hair. Don't compete against other girls. What would be the best advice that you could perhaps share with our audience? Or is it the same? Because it's phenomenal advice.
Yeah, I think it's the same because a lot of singers or aspiring musos or actresses, I mean, ask these things and like you can. I think you should take, because I take inspiration from all of my fellows. Like I look at like the girls that I'm surrounded with and the guys as well. But I'm talking because I think there's such an idea that girls don't support each other in this industry, and because we studied what we studied, there was a lot of that.
Okay.
And because I was in theatre, I got healed from that because the girls, they were like in it to win it with everybody.
Let's go together, yeah.
Let's get together. So I'm not talking just about girls, guys as well. I take inspiration from everybody. They are phenomenal, and I learn so much. I mean, like people like the Rihannas of the world, now, not Miss Internash. The writing that, I mean, I've got such writing skills that I would love to go to her and say, listen, let's sit together and teach me how you do this. Like,
she's phenomenal. Yeah,
insane.
she's really good.
And that's not my that's not my strength.
Yeah.
I need to practice a lot more to do that. It comes very naturally to her, and that's how she's a storyteller. So I'm in awe of people like that. So I take inspiration. You have to learn from your fellows, but you also have to like hone your strength. And if that's the advice I can give, hone your strength and take the flaps off your freaking eyes. Just open your peripheral. I mean, the last 2 years, if that hasn't taught you anything, that people really want to help you.
Yeah.
They are here. We are all here to stand together. I think we are actually born to to help and to hold hands. And for me, it's almost an anointed thing the last 2 years, because I think it was just God's way to say, guys, you can't keep looking down all the time.
Yeah, you have to
because
look up.
you're going to walk into something sooner or later, and like it will boil over.
Yeah.
So put that down, or use it for good at least. Stop taking each other apart on social media. Use it for good. Start helping and start uniting. That's why I think and believe it was not only South Africa. It wasn't regional. It was a worldwide pandemic, so that we all have the same language now.
Yeah.
No one wasn't affected by it. So if you come out of this, you cannot deny what you know. That is fact. You can't deny that. So it's reality. Take hands, help each other out, start making space for people. Your little bright light will not shine brighter by killing someone else's.
You've got a quality that is very rare. Can I share it with you from observing you the last 30 minutes? It's called synergy. Very few people can take people from different backgrounds, different social beliefs, and try and make them work in a team. So you're a synergist, my friend.
Or in my previous life, I was Miss South Africa. World peace.
You're a synergist. There's a
Thank you.
difference, though,
Thank
because
you.
world peace only sees roses and champagne.
No.
You know what it's actually like stirring the pot and talking to this artist and that. Oh, you don't like each other, but what about this? Like off-camera conversation. We want to do something maybe later together. And you said, you know, these two will have opposing opinions. I think it will be great if we can put them down and figure out how that dynamic works. Only a synergist. Very few people think like you. So
Thank
it's
you.
very cool.
Thanks,
It's very, very
but
cool.
it's nice because it's natural here. I think you're the same. That's why.
If you could spend an entire day with someone, so dead or alive, like wake up, have breakfast with that person, and the whole day, who and what are you going to ask that person? Why would you spend your entire day with them? Who would that be, first
So
of all?
bad on the spot. You're so bad.
I
And you're
love it.
asking an artist this. Do you know what that is?
Dead or alive?
No, there's just so many, and unfortunately, most of them aren't here anymore.
You have to pick one.
Just one.
Just one.
I want a round table.
No, just
No.
one. Just one.
Ah.
Like an intimate day of, yeah, that was so much fun.
Sure. I would love to pick Eva Cassidy,
Okay, why?
because posthumously she inspires me every day. She's my musical idol. She's what I hope, if I open my mouth, I hope that I can touch people the way that she did. And she was completely camera shy.
Beautiful
and
answer.
she had stage fright, and yet she took people's music and made it her own and put her little spin on it, and she'll change your whole day in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I would want to ask her. I mean, she died of cancer. It wasn't like she took her own life, or that's what I would then ask someone like Janis Joplin and Amy Winehouse. I would sit down and go like, oh,
What were you thinking?
what were you thinking? And
That's very sad.
whatever you were thinking, I sometimes also get it.
I love her voice.
No, me
like
too.
A lot.
Me
a
too.
lot.
But I just think it could have ended so differently. But
So I've got an opinion on that. Sorry, we're going off topic.
no, okay, sorry.
So sometimes people touch you and course correct you along your life. I think perhaps, you know, she just didn't get that person to touch her at the right point just to course correct. But she'll always be remembered as a legend.
No, for sure. So for sure. So I would want to ask Eva Cassidy what was. I think she knew. I mean, her cassette was found in a cubbyhole of someone's car, and then she became #1 with Somewhere Over the Rainbow and Songbird, like overnight.
Wow.
Like what that must have felt like to know that and to feel that, and the difference that she made in the world, like I said, posthumously. And what was her fear? Like, did she never acknowledge her own talent? Because she was this jazz player, she had all these licks and just this beautiful sound. And what was her fears, and how she dealt with them every day? And if she could do it over again, what she
Beautiful.
would change, because she left Earth at, I think it was 34.
Very
She's
young.
so young, so
Still a
young.
baby.
What for her would she have changed if she could come back and do it all over again? And then I'd
Beautiful.
ask her to stay a little longer.
Yeah, beautiful. Give us some more
Yeah.
melodies that we can enjoy.
Yeah. She's just amazing.
Awesome. If we could magically just poof, be able to be a fly on the wall in a room filled with people, and you could overhear conversations. So we had Joe Black, and I asked him this question, and I loved his answer. He said he wants to know where the gold is hidden. Where's Paul Kruger's gold hidden? So he wants to be in that room. If you could be in a room listening, overhearing stuff, which room and why? That's a sneaky one.
Ooh. I'm going to have to think about that. Wow. I suppose for for human sanity, for humankind, I would ask where the socks are. I'm going to be in that room. Where are the extra socks? And for myself, I suppose, well, the age-old thing of like JFK. I mean, I feel like that's great, but I don't personally really probably want to know. I think. Oh, this is hard. We're gonna have to stop. I don't know.
Okay.
Let me think about this for a moment.
No problem. We can move over to the next question.
Like,
and
what
pick it up.
room you want to be in when something is discussed?
Yeah,
Is that what
yeah.
you're getting at?
Like, let me answer that question from my point of view. Like right now, it is like turmoil in Europe, and it is very rough. Everybody's got an opposing opinion. This side says this side says this. Like when the negotiations finally happen, because I think it's inevitable, they will start.
Yeah.
They have to. They have to. There's innocent people that are, caught in the crossfire, and I'm not, I'm not a politician, but I would love to be in that room, because the energy, the intensity, the outcome is so important. That, like, how do these world leaders process issues, and how do they speak to each other? Like, for me, that would be a room I'll definitely want to be in.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, well, my answer is going to be, oof. I know exactly, but I think people are going to think I'm very strange.
No, we're just two weirdos. That's all.
No, because if I had a choice,
Yeah.
I would want to be somewhere where there's a bunch of, maybe, that's going to sound so wrong. I'm very fascinated by serial killers, how their minds work.
Criminology.
Criminology,
Me too.
that ticks me, and
Like the why. What pushes someone to that psychotic state where
Yes.
your empathy is like minus.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think we
Fascinating.
can't fathom that.
No, we can't.
It's the things in life that I go, like, you can't even think towards it.
Very interesting.
Even if your life is in danger, it's going to take a very strong piece of myself to defend myself to the point where I take your life. And that's in a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
So the people who methodically do these things.
Like
I mean,
Bonnie
there's-
and Clyde, for example.
Yeah,
like,
there's a
let's
no-
go rob a bunch of banks,
Yeah.
and we don't care how many people we shoot and kill.
Yeah, and I think there's a narcissism to the point of
Big
the
time.
nth degree there that, like I said, that fascinates me. That whole like you've got zero, you're apathetic to anything. Like there's a numbness that fascinates me, and I would love to sit with a person like a Bundy or like Chris Watts. If you haven't seen American Murder, check that out, because it's heart-wrenching what this man
Wow.
did to his family. And he was a normal, everyday
Normal
neighbor.
guy. Normal
Those
guy.
people I'm scared of.
Yeah.
You know, the devil we know in South Africa is one thing, but those your absolute neighbor who you like have a braai with,
Fascinating. Man.
and that person
So
in one snap
I want
takes
to throw
people's lives.
something in there.
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with IQ. So below the IQ of, I think it's 68, that's when your empathy levels are at its lowest. So you're quite dangerous at that low IQ level, in terms of, there's no process of, if I do this, there's a repercussion. But those are never serial killers. They're never people of planned
No.
the 130, 135, 140. The genius. That's the guy that's the normal neighbor.
Yes.
He's quiet to himself, but
yes,
you know, that mind is busy.
Mine is ticking and it's busy and and like I said, it's methodical and you can't. So if I would like to sit with someone like a Chris Watts and hope he opens up and then talk through it and I would like a few of them in a row. That would be fascinating for me.
I love your answer.
And then to go back to just now, I just thought of it now. Like, why would I not ask Eva Cassidy to do a duet with me? That's what I'd ask her if I see her.
Beautiful.
Can we sing something together?
Beautiful.
As simple as that.
That will be a #1 hit across the world.
I'd love that.
Really would. This is After All Car Channel. So I want to just dive into your automotive history. What was your first car? Color? And a cool story.
It was an Uno Fire.
Uno Fire, what color?
White. It had the little blue little fire sign on the side.
Was it a 2-door or 4-door?
It was a 2-door.
2-door. Ooh,
2-door.
sporty.
It was lovely. She was lovely, and you can see how I beam when I speak of her because it was my first car. Got my matric results in her.
Nice.
I got my license. We were actually talking about this yesterday, like how we got our licenses. I passed my license the first time, not because I was that good at driving, but the guy was just tired. It was the end of the day. Got in the car. He took me out. He said, like, turn back. And I said to my mom, I'm not going to get my license. I didn't even go on the road. And he literally went, here it is.
Look.
And I thought, well, I think it was the end of the day on a Friday, and he was just ashes. He wanted to go home.
I went 7 times. I've never said this on camera. I went 7 times. But I must say, you looking the way you look helped you a little bit. It wasn't just him being tight. Like
I
this
was in
guy
my
again.
school
No,
uniform. There was something wrong with him.
Well, maybe he was one of those 135, 140 IQ guys. You never know.
We never know. We never know. I was very lucky, and I'm still grateful to that man. But my mom said to me, like, you are born with a golden spoon. Like, it's like, why do things like to this day they'll go, yeah, goue lepel hierdie ene.
You attract things because you are just a ball of positive synergy, energy.
You know what?
And that's what comes back to you.
I hope so. I don't think and sometimes it doesn't work. They just don't know about it. But that was my Uno Fire. It was from my mom. And I used to, like here in Pretoria North, I was up and down. And my best friend had an Uno Fire as well.
Did you guys race?
We did.
You from the north?
No,
Who won?
No, we did.
Who won?
We did very naughty things. I'm very sorry, but we did this. Sorry, Dad and Mom. But Footloose. I mean, who didn't see Footloose?
Okay.
And then she does this thing where she goes from the one seat to the next seat while the two people are driving.
Okay.
And we tried to do those.
Okay.
We did drive slowly while doing it. We thought, well, I saw Footloose. Let's see if I can climb from this Uno Fire to that Uno Fire. That was very dangerous. And I don't know why I did that. But we did.
It was lots of fun.
Because you didn't think. And I like speed a little bit.
Speed.
Yeah.
So what's your dream car? Like the ultimate car? If no one had to drive with you, no dog is nothing. What would be the car? Be like, yeah, this is so me. This is me. What's that?
Well, I'd like just a Jeep, but no doors, no roof on the beach with the dogs.
Okay,
with the dogs. With my partner, like that's the thing. Awesome. And with the windsurfing gear in the back and as rugged as I can. Awesome. But my sporty favorite is a Jaguar. And a Jaguar and is Aston Martin. Those are my two beauties.
Ooh, beautiful. I used an F-Type as a company car for a week. And I'm like, please don't sell, please don't sell, please don't sell. And then one of the salespeople are like, can we please have the camera? I'm like, no. And then he sold it, so I had lots of fun in that.
Don't know where it is right now. Where is that car? What would you, and you? Is that the dream car?
Like, I love all cars. I drive a different car every day. It's the perks of the company. Like, they just hand me a key. Yesterday I drove an Amarok. I loved it. Like a V6 Amarok. I'm like, geez, why is this bucky so fast? And the day before I drove a BMW X1. So I love all cars.
Okay.
But an F-Type is nice. I love an F-Type. The sound.
Have you gone drifting? Obviously you've gone drifting before. Like, I did that
not with a company
ago.
car. Disclaimer. Swartkorps, AMG days, best day. Lots of fun.
I also enjoyed that.
So we've got a culture of reading in our company. So it started off initially as a forced event. So you will read a book a month. I'm like, what, read? I'm like, I didn't sign up for this. I signed up to make money. I'm like, yes, you will read a book a month. So eventually over time, it's become very popular. We do a book a month and everybody submits a report, a one-pager. We go through the report and we run small competitions for the winner. So first prize gets X, second prize spa day or course or whatever the case might be. So what's your favorite book? Because I know you're a reader as well. You just mentioned it a few minutes ago. Favorite book, and what lesson did you take out of it?
It's Anthony Kiedis, Scar Tissue. Red Hot Chili Peppers, the lead singer.
Oh, wow.
Brought out a book called Scar Tissue. And it was about his life and all the tribulations he went through. And how basically, in short, how his dog saved him because he was about to overdose. And he loves animals and he just couldn't do it in front. His dog was like watching him and he kept on like putting it off until he didn't do it. But
Amazing.
How that man still stands living, I have no idea. It's like the Keith Richards of the world, that they've just been introduced to so many things from a young age because their parents were like just not focused, and how we got through that, and how that band stayed together, and how friendships and how the loss of people to drugs or to accidents because of drugs. And he was in very serious accidents, and he's very honest. He's very honest about his person, and how he's selfish and how he did this and how, but always stayed strong in a way. And he said he was very lucky to get through what he got through. But it's very revealing. I'm now reading Matthew McConaughey's Green Light. I'm busy with that.
We had that book a couple of months ago, and in my opinion, and that's just my opinion, there is no better storyteller than Matthew McConaughey. The way that book is written is, there's so many business lessons, and it's not even a business book.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Life business. All right.
Yeah, I'm like, because I do Audible.
You can't help but hear that accent when you're reading it, eh? Yeah.
I do Audible. Then when he says that, then the seat goes back a little bit more. I'm like, this is cool.
This is cool.
Phenomenal book.
Yeah.
Phenomenal book.
Yeah.
Cool.
I loved Stephen King before that. That was because nobody knows he actually wrote Shawshank Redemption, which is my favorite movie. There was a short story by Stephen King, which I never knew.
I never knew that either.
Yeah, and it's the most beautiful movie ever. Yeah.
Beautiful. Awesome. Now, Monique Steyn, the superstar. What's coming up next? Where can we see you? Where can I see you perform live? Where can your fans go and shout out from the stands and just be awesome with you? Where? What's coming up next?
Well,
please share with us.
We are on our way to Mauritius as we speak on the 30th of April.
Who's all going?
A bunch of Afrikaans is Groot is doing like not a music festival. We'll be doing like music evenings in Mauritius
at the different resorts.
Awesome. And there's a bunch of people in the farming community that's coming with us.
Okay.
And they are doing excursions with us. So it's me and it's Demi and it's Rwanda Toy and it's Carleen and Joe Black and I'm going to miss someone, but I know there's a bunch
Beautiful
of us.
lineup. Yeah.
Beautiful lineup, and we're all getting together and spending 5 days with the audience in Mauritius. And then after that, the contract is coming back.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we're starting with that again.
When is that airing?
I think the launch is under correction. I think the 21st of May.
Okay.
The launch will come, and then people can start like entering.
Awesome.
So we are really looking forward to that.
Awesome.
Really looking
Your
forward.
face just
round
lit up.
2.
Yeah, round 2. Let's go. Beautiful. I've had the opportunity to meet Demi at a very young age. Before Demi was on TV
Are
and
you
everything.
kidding?
Yeah, she's a very cool chick.
Yeah, man.
I find her very, very cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. So thank you so much. I've had lots of fun. I've learned enormous amounts from you.
Likewise, by the way.
I think our audience got their time with. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for like really making it very comfortable and sharing your heart as well. It's really nice talking to a fellow weirdo.
A fellow weirdo. Thank you very much.
Thanks to you guys too.